118. That is the number of civil society organizations Burkina Faso just swiped off the map in a single day. No decree, no debate, no warning, just done. And while that was happening on the other side of the continent, Julius Melama, the man South Africa's establishment loves to hate and millions swear by, was handed 5 years in prison. His lawyers are fighting it, his supporters are hitting the streets, and the implications for African politics are massive. And if that is not enough, we have got two nuclear superpowers playing a high-stakes game of chicken in a waterway that controls 20% of the world's oil. The guns are quiet for now, but the blockade is running, and things are moving faster than anyone expects. Stay with me. This is the strategic lens. Let's get into it. It's Tuesday morning in Ouagadougou. Ibrahim Traoré's government releases a quiet notice. No press conference, no speech, just 118 NGOs and civil organizations dissolved. Now, before your brain jumps to conclusion, let's look at both sides because this deserves more than a headline. Here is a thing nobody wants to say out loud. What if some of these organizations were a problem? What if foreign money was actually running political agendas inside a country at war with jihadists? Traoré's argument resonates with millions of young Africans. Why? Because he's saying the quiet part loud. Stop French interference. Reclaim sovereignty. Stop pretending Western-funded groups have no political agenda. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's documented history. But, and here is the but, look at who was actually dissolved. It wasn't just foreign rings. It was groups documenting human rights abuses, organizations tracking displaced families, civil society bodies that were simply watching. This wasn't random. It's a sequence. First, the 2025 order to move NGOs funds to state banks, then the January 2026 resolutions of local parties. Now this. While the government pivots to Russia and Western donors back out, 2 million displaced civilians are watching the few groups left to help them get shut down. Sovereignty is a legitimate demand, but is it being used as a shield against accountability? Moving south to South Africa, April 16, Kebeha. A packed courtroom, red overalls in the streets, and a magistrate hands Julius Malema 5 years for firing a rifle at an EFF rally packed in 2018. Again, there are two ways to read this. Reading one, the law worked. You can't fire a live rifle into a crowd, especially as a leader in a country plagued by gun violence. The magistrate rules his status made it worse, not better. Reading two, the timing is loud. The EFF is the most aggressive voice on land redistribution and nationalization. They have already lost their deputy leader, and this conviction lands exactly as South Africa is in a standoff with US over land policy. Do you remember when Trump pressured President Ramaphosa to arrest Malema? You don't have to believe in conspiracy to notice the timing is curious. If Malema loses his appeal and goes to prison, the EFF loses its center of gravity. For the diaspora and everyone with stakes in South Africa, pay attention. The loudest voices for radical change are being tested by legal machinery. Whether that machine is working correctly or being deployed selectively, it is the debate of a decade. Meanwhile, 6,000 kilometers away, we are on day 50 of the US-Israel-Iran conflict. We are in a military pause. The bombs have stopped, but the US naval blockade of the Iranian airport is still at full strength. It's a loaded gun with the safety half on. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz is open. The US says nothing is moving. Both can be true. Trump demands are total. End enrichment, withdraw proxies, or face a long war. The danger here is miscalculated. If a vessel moves and the US responds, the ceasefire evaporates. This isn't just about oil. It's about the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. If Iran hits those choke points, the global economy gets squeezed from two sides at once. Tehran is using this blockade as leverage against the US, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE simultaneously. It's a calculated power play that's been 40 years in the making. When you look at these three stories side by side, a pattern emerges. Burkina Faso dissolves NGOs for security. South Africa sentences an opposition leader for rule of law. Superpowers maintain a blockade for negotiation. In all three, the language of order is used to justify the consolidation of power. It doesn't mean any of these actors are purely innocent or guilty, but it means we must ask, who do these tools actually protect? Usually, the people with the most to gain from the silence are the ones writing the rules. This isn't just entertainment, it's data. These are the arguments about governance and sovereignty that will define the next 20 years in Africa. I want to hear from you. Which of these stories has the highest long-term impact on the continent? I am Rauda, you are watching the Global Observer. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It doesn't cost a thing and it keeps us going. I'll see you on the next one.